first, turn off all the lights, including blinds. You want to make sure your room is pretty dark.
I want to really get rid of all the reflective surface on the background, so I found this keyboard that is black that I'm leaning against that wall to create a backdrop.
And I'm going to actually use an old iPad that I have for reflective surface on the bottom. Now, if you don't have an old iPad, you can use a black computer screen or a laptop screen.
Ultimately, we're looking for a black reflective surface that's going to reflect a subject matter really, really well. Now I'm going to use a black felt block for me to create a wall on the left-hand side. This is going to allow the lights to be observed and not bounce back. You can use a book inside a black t-shirt and wrap it around to create that wall as well. I'm going to use a small tiny tripod that's going to hold my phone. It's always helpful to have something like this. If not, you can hold your cameras to take photos. Only bad thing is that you will have to adjust every shot. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my wall and secure it to the place. When you're done with your setup, now it's time for you to arrange your marbles in a way that's going to be aesthetically pleasing to look at. Take your time. It's going to be sliding everywhere, so be patient with it. So this is the actual view from my camera angles. Now I'm going to go ahead and test the lights. I have set up a flashlight on the top right hand side next to my camera using an iPad. I have adjusted the levels of flashlight. You can actually change the flashlight strength from level 1 through 4. So I ended up liking the level 3. Now I'm adjusting my camera angles. Now that I have finished my setup and lights and camera angle, it's really time for me to finalize the arrangement, the composition of the marble. It's a little difficult because it slides and rolls everywhere, but be patient and I'm sure you'll get something that you like. Always work with the prime numbers 1, 2, 3, 5, 7 because there's always a good number for you to use to arrange your subject matter. I sort of like this 3 trio marbles lined up in an angle creates a curve. Now I'm adjusting my lights finally one more time. I am increasing the light because I noticed that I want to have a much better reflective light on the bottom of the marbles. And I really like the green that's bouncing back as well. So I'm adjusting up my flashlight level to level 4 instead of level 3 here. And I'm ready to take a final photo shoot. We can always improve on the quality of photo by editing it, so let's go ahead and open up your photo on an editing tool. You can always use an auto tool on the right hand side, but we just want to have a little bit better control, so I'm going to play with the exposure, adding a little bit more light to it, and I'm going to increase the level of highlights and contrast. And contrast is going to really make your marble stand out against that black background. Now, one thing that I really like to use is the black point. That's going to separate the marbles from the black backgrounds. When you are done using those tools, I'm going to use the crop tools to adjust my arrangement, composition of my subject matter. If you do not have marbles at home, that is a-okay. You can use different objects for you to replace the marbles with. Here I have used vitamins and gummy bears as well. And you can also use small size food like a little tiny cupcake or earrings for you to replace the marbles with. Or you can also use an object that you really treasure. Here I use a personal stamp that I got in Korea for me to replace the marbles with. I want you to really enjoy, and please don't forget to submit 3 finalized photos on Schoology.